Have you ever been stuck in your job saying, I know I want more impact, I know I want more growth, but I just don't know how to go on? And maybe you've made that commitment to yourself already 6 months ago of, yeah, I'm going to change something, but then in the process, being so overwhelmed with the complexity and not knowing which step to take first, you just magically postponed it again and again and again. If that sounds really like you, watch this video. So first of all, it maybe helps to understand that everybody has this problem. I too have been numbing myself and ignored these questions like, am I doing something useful? Am I actually contributing to something cool? Something that I would be happy to leave once, I retire. Am I doing something that brings me joy? Am I aligned with my passions, talents, and values when I'm coming to my everyday job? I've definitely had these questions. The biggest insight I think that we've gotten from our coachings is it's not about the how. I don't know how many people I have on calls and on coachings, on events, and they'd be like, wow, I'm so confused what to do next. I just don't know how to get started. And the easiest question to ask these guys is, so what are 3 baby steps you can take? And magically, they will come up with 3 baby steps. It's never about the how. The better question, to think about it is, how come you haven't done the obvious things already? Most of the times, as I said, when I ask for baby steps, people are very quick. It takes them less than 1 or 2 minutes. And I'm like, yeah, that's the how, that's the obvious stuff. And oftentimes this is really smart stuff that they just haven't gotten around starting yet. So there must be something, because hey, these are really smart people. There must be something that holds them back. And this is my big insight, my big learning. And I feel there are 2 things. Number 1, people are scared of the action they feel they have to take. Examples, maybe you are working in a company, but you really want to become an entrepreneur, and you've been an expert in your thing for, 10 years maybe, and now you have to walk out and contact people from different industries, and you're probably going to look very stupid. Yeah. These are the classic things why people, don't dare to do stuff. Another one is that we are scared of the consequences that any potential decision of ours might have on the rest of our life. A really good example is a wonderful and amazing person I recently had in a coaching session, and he had a very safe, well-paying job, but he wanted to become a chef and really, he had all these visions around how to build his amazing restaurant and the best kitchen and how he would fuse different styles and everything. But as soon as we got to the point where there'd be a couple of steps to take, he'd be like, I can't do it. I have family. I can't put that risk on my children and my wife. That's one thing. Another really cool example was, I remember when I quit a job some time ago, not some time ago, but like a long time ago. My boss was so angry that he literally, he grasped a stapler and literally was kind of throwing it at me, like not in a violent way, but he was so angry. But also what was behind his anger was actually the fear that he had when I would leave the team, because literally a lot of things would probably crumble. And I was scared of disappointing him, disappointing my team members. So these are, from experience, the 2 biggest things that hold us back. So ask yourself, if it's not about the how, what are my fears that are coming up as to why I am not doing the obvious? A, what am I scared of? B, what am I scared of? What action? B, what consequences could I potentially be scared of? So this doesn't sound very satisfying, saying I can answer the how question by just asking an even worse question. We wouldn't be asking these questions if on that deeper level they wouldn't be smarter answers. So here we go. A, try to really understand your fear and try to pinpoint it as precisely as possible. Why? Vague fears, big vague fears, are really, really scary. If you are generally fearful of the dark, it's kind of like really hard to solve that. But if you say, I'm scared of the dark when I am at home, sleeping in my bed, and someone has just switched off the light switch, that very moment I'm scared. Like it's much easier to solve that particular situation than to kind of treat a very vague and general fear. So first thing, try to understand as precisely as possible what it is that you are actually scared of. Once you have really understood this, you will find that oftentimes little tweaks, creative solutions, creative ideas are popping in that can solve that fear or that concern of yours. So for instance, with this person who was scared of putting so much risk on his family, we were finding it to be a much smarter way to actually brainstorm, okay, how can you generate a safe income whilst being on that path on opening up your restaurant? You know, in that situation with my boss being very angry, probably at the time, and I was scared of him being angry, by the way, probably at the time the smarter way to introduce me quitting and leaving the company would have been to actually already introduce more ideas on how I would respectfully handle the team transition. So again, vague fears are hard to solve. Precise and exact fears are much more easy to solve. Yeah, so once you've thought about your little tweaks and creative ideas, think about how they can look in practice. I like to call this a win-win situation, because I hate the word compromise, between your fear, your concerns, the stuff that you're scared of, the stuff that holds you back, which has a place, and these feelings will have a point, and your aspirations, the stuff that wants you to move forward. So, you know, think of ways how you can follow your aspirations, but at the same time, take care of these fears. And what the experience is that you will find it so much easier to get started. I am perfectly empathetic if any of you says now, thank you so much, Astrid, but I still don't know how to continue. Which to me is always, to be honest, a very human reaction, and just tells that, hey, sometimes we, although knowing all these things, we are still scared of the stuff that holds us back. So one thing I've realized between people who found it easier than others to look at those things, these are people who don't cease to believe that there's always a possibility to create such a win-win situation between your fear and your aspiration. These are people who are not so scared at looking at these fears. And it's not that they are born with this ability, it's something that you train. So if you're still stuck on, okay, I really don't know how, take baby steps. And dare to believe that if you dive into your fear, there will be solutions. And dare to remember that the more niche the fear, the more niche the concern, the easier it is going to be to generate any of these win-win solutions. So I hope that was useful to you. Just a quick recap, because I'm going to summarize it super quickly. First, if you are stuck in the how, think about what holds you back and dare to dive deep, if you want, into these fears and concerns. Try to pinpoint them as precisely as possible. Second thing, ask yourself, what do these concerns want to pay me attention to? And come up with these creative hacks, creative win-win ideas, how you can satisfy both the fears, the concerns, but also the aspirations. Put that into some sort of, homework, next step manual, if you wish. And the most important thing, never, ever, ever, ever stop believing that you can grow more and have more impact if you dare to ask yourself these questions. Cool. We hope you had fun doing this. Write me messages if you are feeling that you have more questions. And as always, you know, we love to say life is 3% inspiration, 97% perspiration. So if you want to put into practice any of what's said in all these super smart videos, dare to contact us. We have a link for the coffee chats below, and this is how we love to get in touch with you guys. These are free coffee chats, so free coachings between 45 and 60 minutes, where we will talk about what your bottleneck is and whether or not the ARC can support you. As most of you know, the ARC is this incredible, exciting, intense and super impactful mastermind. We have people from across Europe challenging, supporting and inspiring each other to build impact based on their talents, on their passions, on their values and on their missions. So if that sounds like something for you, yeah, just click the link below and I'm going to be waiting on the other end of the phone. We love to chat. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.